The Nigeria Labour Congress has reacted to the invitation of its president, Joe Ajaero, by the Nigerian police force. The police on Monday summoned Ajaero for questioning over an alleged link to terrorism, financing, cybercrime, and other allegations. This was contained in a letter issued from the Office of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team, the Department of Force Intelligence. The letter, which was signed by ACP Adamu Muazu, threatened that failure to honor the invitation would lead to arrest. NLC's Head of Information and Public Affairs, Benson Upah, in a statement said the letter sent to Ajaero failed to address him as the Congress president. According to the statement, Labour is being victimized for the recent nationwide End Bad Governance protest. We now switch to Benson Upah, a member of the Nigerian Labour Congress, who is joining us now from the Abuja studios to discuss the NLC's president, Joe Ajaero's police invitation. It's good to have you on Arise News.
My pleasure.
Okay, so let's go straight into it. We're looking at this story, and what we're seeing here is that what NLC is putting out is that this invitation by the Nigerian police force is a retaliation of the End Bad Governance protest. Why do you think that is?
First and foremost, even though we made it abundantly clear that we were not part of the protest, we advised the government to hold with the promoters of the protest genuine dialogue, reach reasonable conclusions in order to avert the taking place of the protest. But at the end of it all, government failed to do that. And when the protest went underway, we criticized the handling of the protest by security forces, particularly the police, who are the lead agency in our internal security issues or matters. Within 2 days, scores of people had been killed, and we issued a statement condemning that. A day or two after that, the police now raided our office. Of course, we consider that an outrage, a sacrilege, because not even under the military did the Congress have such an experience. And we asked the police to come clean, come apologize, or asked the government to come clean, come apologize. But instead of doing that, they decided to send a letter of interview to the Congress president, Comrade Joe Ajaero, which we see as the continuation of the act of intimidation, gagging, and suppression of legitimate dissent.
Okay, sir. So following that letter, I believe that you have issued a threat to the services, and you were saying that if Joe Ajaero is detained following this invitation, honoring this invitation, that you will go on strike. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, first and foremost, let me explain that we say that Comrade Joe Ajaero will honor the invitation. I will ask for a little more time to enable him present himself properly before the Nigerian police. We said, however, what we perceive to be happening, as I stated earlier, is the continuation of intimidation to suppress lawful dissent and to cow us into silence. But we're in a democracy, and because we also see the invitation as processing him for darker or sinister intentions. So we found it appropriate to say, in the event anything untoward happens to him, we will have no option than to respond appropriately. And that will involve calling out our members and our allies, wherever they may be, to lawfully protest an incarceration or any further act of intimidation or any injury to him or to any of the leaders of the Congress or any member of the Congress. So we're only giving advice. It's an advice to the police. And those who are using the police, those who are pushing the police into this, I want them to listen and listen carefully. They do not own this country. They are just passengers in power. If they look behind themselves, they're going to see portraits of those who are in these offices before them. They should be guided by that. It's only a matter of time. And there is nothing personal in this. If this government does something well and right, in furtherance or pursuance of the common good of the people, we will praise it. But if it does something which is injurious to our collective being, we will continue to criticize it. Not even hounding of Joe Ajaero will stop us. You recall, in November last year, they abducted him, thoroughly beat him up, mobbed him. It didn't stop us from talking. But we must add this. There must be an end to an act of state-sponsored terrorism.
Okay, I'd like
That'll be my response.
Okay, I'd like to come in here, sir, because, let's talk allegations and evidence. What is your specific response, or what is your response to the specific allegations mentioned in the police letter? Because they touched on links to terrorism financing, they touched on cybercrime, and those kind of things that are unbecoming. Has there been any evidence that has been provided to substantiate these claims at the moment?
Actually, this question should be directed to the police. But nonetheless, I'll answer you as much as I can. One, they talked about conspiracy. Two, they talked about treasonable felony. Three, they talked about terrorism financing. Four, they talked about cybercrime. I want to assure you, with every sense of responsibility and honor, we have nothing to do with those offenses or crimes. I tell you something. For most of them, securing Nigeria is about salaries and wages or allowances or budgets. For us at NLC, labor movement as a whole, it is about passion. Our driving motive has always been the integrity, the sovereignty of this country and the welfare of the people. We have no other interest.
Okay.
So, but then, let's just a moment. But you know one thing, when a mischievous state, but first of all, let me admit that the state has awesome powers. And I've always said those powers should be used benevolently. But when a state wants to keep you busy, the state throws at you this kind of charges. They keep you busy. But I want to tell you, on this call, I think they have picked on the wrong customer because we have nothing. But in any case, let me also explain here. Charges have not been framed against him yet. The letter says his name has been mentioned. So, but of course, from mention, we may move a notch higher to charges and prosecution. And we are sounding an alarm in advance that whoever is driving this evil, whoever is driving this mischief should also remember their history. You understand? So we have nothing to do with those offenses or crimes. We have nothing to do with them. We don't even have money to meet our needs. Then we indulge in terrorism financing, and then want to engage in conspiracy to sabotage this country or which institution or organization, not us, or to now engage in acts that will constitute treasonable felony. These are weighty charges. In fact, there are hardly charges more weighty than these charges in our statute books. Okay? So it is plain mischief.
Okay.
And those who are behind this.
All right.
Go ahead.
You know, earlier you mentioned history. So let's take a look at sort of the build-up of events to this moment, because this is not where this started. After the protests, the police, the report says the police broke into your headquarters, and the explanation from the police is that they were pursuing a foreigner of interest, and that there was some evidence that was carted away with. Tell us a little bit about the police coming into your headquarters and whether you had been able to reach a middle ground with the police following that incident.
On that fateful day, we had a meeting, a NEC meeting, that is the National Executive Council meeting, and we had issued a communique in which we had expressed our dissatisfaction with the level the police conducted themselves in managing, the protesters, among other issues. So we left, and then from 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, we received the report that the police were in the premises, and we were on the 10th floor. From the 10th floor, they had moved to the 2nd floor, and that they had broken into a bookshop on the 2nd floor, had carted away everything left, right, and center, books, publications, and so on and so forth. And then the police, of course, naturally, we demanded for an apology and the return of those items. A day or so, the PRO of the police, ACP Adejobi, issued a statement saying that we were not actually their target, that their target was on the 2nd floor, and it is as you pointed out. And we said, if we were not your target, what did you come to do on the 10th floor? That's one question. Second question, if you were after a terrorist, why come in the night? Obviously, we don't have residential apartments at Labour House. All of them are offices, and nobody, a reasonable person, except a few who are given to work at odd hours. You don't expect anybody to be in the office between 8:30, from 8:30 up. And they also said, if you had this intelligence, what stopped you from taking into confidence the leadership of the Congress? And if you felt that the leadership of the Congress would not be reliable, what stopped you from all the same telling him at H hour, that is at your strike hour, as you move into the premises, you're also informing him, say, look, we are here, but this is not about you. We have credible intelligence about ABCD. Of course, Congress will join hands, would have joined hands with the police, but a situation whereby the police acted in a very sly manner. And we also told the police that they didn't have the appropriate legal papers, for the kind of invasion that they embarked on. Of course, the police said that they had papers, and we challenged them to produce them. And we also said, I hope those papers were not procured after the act of invasion. So these are the issues. And let us also state clearly here, no one has monopoly of patriotism. The police don't love this country as much as some of us do.
Okay, I'd like to comment.
So they bungled it.
Okay.
Secondly, let me tell you. So between the publications that they took away and the terrorists in quote, who or which is more important? Okay? So you could consider a bungled operation, and the police need to save their face. Okay? This would have, let me tell you, they didn't need to break an egg if they had their facts right. A bookshop is a public place. 2 or 3 undercover agents could simply have walked into that place, did their recce, and if necessary, have their quarry picked up. Okay? The backup could just be a grand below, or could also come in mufti. Nobody will know anything. This would have been done quietly without this bad publicity. Now,
Mr. Upah, I'd like
this
to
matter
come in here just because we are running out of time. It's just very important I ask you this question going forward, talking about the impact of these allegations on NLC's role and government relations. Do you think these allegations and the subsequent police actions will impact the NLC's ability to function as the primary labor union in Nigeria? What I'm talking about is the negotiations, the ongoing negotiations with government on labor-related issues. Are you concerned that this situation could derail important discussions? Very briefly.
First and foremost, we do not like the direction the police have taken. On our part, we will continue to maintain our sanity. We will try as much as possible that in subsequent engagements, this issue does not affect us. But if government does not stop itself and decides to go the way of perdition, certainly it will affect our relationship. It's capable of derailing our relationship. If government does not advise itself and stop now, if it does not stop now, this is capable of derailing our relationship substantially.
All right, Mr. Benson Upah of the NLC, thank you so much for your time today. Of course, we will be following developments closely. Thank you for that.